This is the Amex Gold Card, and every single year, this card pays me between $1,500 and $3,000 worth of value. That's right, Anthony Venture here, and we're wearing the crown today because we're talking about the king of all credit cards, the only one that you really need in your wallet. So we're going to put it right under here for some safekeeping, and let's talk about it. So yes, everybody knows the annual fee on the Amex Gold Card is a hefty $250 every single year that you have to pay. So yes, $250 sounds like a lot of money every single year, but watch this. This credit card comes with two $10 a month dining credits. The first $10 a month credit goes towards specifically Uber Eats. So anytime that you order food through Uber Eats, every single month, $10 is going to be deducted from the total price of your delivery and or pickup. But I usually recommend actually going to the restaurant and picking up your food so you can save a lot more money. And then the second $10 a month dining credit is used for a few different restaurants, namely Wine.com, Goldbelly, Milk Bar, Shake Shack, the Cheesecake Factory, and the most important one is Grubhub. And since this is specifically a dining credit, you're not actually getting cash for the Grubhub. Even though you're going to be paying full price through Grubhub, within a few days, they're going to credit back to you $10, i.e. the dining credit. The same thing applies if you go out to eat. Like, for example, if you go to the Cheesecake Factory and maybe get just a gigantic slice of cheesecake for about $40, you're going to eat it, enjoy it, and regret it all within 24 hours. Typically, within 72 hours, you're going to re-enjoy that cheesecake because you just got credited back $10. So wait a second, Anthony, you're telling me that if I just order food from Grubhub and Uber Eats just once per month, that I'm essentially getting $240 in value at the end of the year? Which is pretty much essentially taking that annual fee from $250 down to just $10 every single year. That's right, that's why the American Express Gold Card is completely broken, because with just the most baseline credits that you get with this credit card, you're automatically pretty much breaking even. That's why you call this credit card broken. Which brings me to my next point, which is all the possible points that you could be earning on this credit card every single year, especially if this is your only credit card that you have in your arsenal. So the first spending bonus you're going to be getting is 4 points per dollar spent on all dining, takeout, and delivery. That's exactly correct. Every single time that you go to the restaurant and pay with this Amex Gold Card, they're going to be pretty much throwing money at you at that point. And then the second spending bonus is you're going to be also getting 4 points per dollar spent on all supermarket purchases. Now this bonus category technically has a cap of $25,000 every single year, which means anytime that you pay for groceries, anything in excess of $25,000, you're only be getting 1 point per dollar spent for every dollar over. Now the third spending bonus is you're going to be getting 3 points per dollar spent on all airlines booked directly through them, as well as any airlines that you book through Amex Travel, which is pretty amazing considering this card is typically known as just a food credit card. And then fourthly, but lastly, you're going to be getting 1 point per dollar spent everywhere else. So this is great and all, I'm glad you're telling me all of this, but how does this actually relate to real life? I'm glad you asked, so let's go through all the numbers and how this credit card actually gives me $1,500 to $3,000 every single year in value. Just a quick Google search will tell us that the average household of maybe 4 people are spending between $3,000 and $5,000 every single year on dining out, but just to be conservative, let's take the low number, and that's just $3,000 every single year. Now, if you just use the Amex Gold Card pretty much exclusively, $3,000 times 4 points per dollar spent, which is giving you about 12,000 membership reward points at the end of each year. And since membership reward points are at minimum worth about 1 cent per point, that pretty much translates to about $120 worth of cash value. And if we go into the second category, which is supermarket spend, the average person every single year spends about $10,000 on groceries per 4-person household. So for that family that spends on average about $10,000 every single year, 4 points per dollar spent equals 40,000 points at the end of each year, which translates to about $400 in value. But if you're a person that could spend that threshold of $25,000 every single year on groceries, you could pretty much get an extra 100,000 bonus American Express points, which at minimum is worth about $1,000 worth of value. And just a little quick tip here, you could actually have up to 5 different authorized users for the Amex Gold Card at no additional fees. But what you could technically do is if you have family members that don't really care about credit card points, you could always give them your Gold Card and then just make sure that they actually Venmo you back for all the grocery spend, but this way you can get all of the points and they can grow their credit at the same time if they're not necessarily as credit versed as you are. But of course, just make sure to mention to them that this card is in fact a charge card, which means the balance has to be paid in full at the end of each month, aka it all falls on you if they're going to spend $1 million on that card in the first week of ownership. So make sure you tell them the difference between a charge card and a credit card, okay? Credit cards, you can pay off a balance minimum every single month, charge card in full at the end of each month. While you're at it, you could also tell them that this credit card has no foreign transaction fees. So if they want to go abroad and use this card exclusively, you're not going to have any extra charges tacked onto that. And then for the third category, I saw the average household spend between $300 and $3,000 every single year. But just to be conservative, let's just say that the average household spends about $1,000 every single year on flights. At 3 points per dollar spent, that's 3,000 points or an extra $30 worth of cash value. Now, if we just total up those three benefits alone, that's giving you about $550 worth of value. But of course, it doesn't just end there, right? Because we didn't actually add in the dining credits, which would be an extra, what, $240 every single year, which brings our grand total to $790 at the end of each year. Now, of course, the video doesn't just end there, and I'm going to give you guys in just a second a ton of value, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. But now, let me blow your minds. So if we just add up all the points that we actually accumulated throughout the year, that's going to be a what? Total of 55,000 at the end of each year. Now, like I said, at just face value, 1 cent per point, that's typically worth about $550, especially if you use it for travel through the Amex portal. But maybe you just want to book some hotels through Amex Travel, and typically those value redemptions are a lot less at maybe 0.6 cents per point worth of value. What you can do at minimum, if you're a person that loves Hilton properties, you could actually take your membership reward points and transfer them to your Hilton partner, and they travel at a 1-to-1 ratio, which essentially means that for every membership reward point that you transfer, you get 2 Hilton Honors points, because those points are usually worth about 0.5 cents per point. Okay, so good, great, but not the best value that we can actually get. If we transfer these membership reward points to different partners, you could see that there is a much higher value. I can show you on the screen right now, but sometimes when you transfer points to travel partners, you can get all the way upwards to 2 cents per point, 3 cents per point, and even as high as 4 to 5 cents per point. But let's just take the minimum. Let's say that we want to transfer all these points to Aeroplan. So that same 55,000 bonus points could actually be worth anywhere between $1,100 and $1,500 to $1,600 every single year, depending on how you transfer it. But for me, I really want to maximize these points, and I've had a couple friends tell me recently that I can get 4.5 cents per point when I use AMA to travel abroad. And then in that case, that same 55,000 points is actually worth about $2,500 worth of travel value, which is literally mind-blowing. If you specifically know a better redemption option, let me know in the comments below, as I would love to hear that. Now, that was actually a ton of value already, but there actually is a lot of things I skipped over. We didn't even talk about sign-up bonuses. Now, the sign-up bonus on this credit card is depending on where you could find it, but anywhere between 60,000 points, 75,000 points, and on the highest, 90,000 bonus membership reward points. And that's always after you spend $4,000 within the first 6 months of opening the card. But if you're looking at this specific offer that you can only find on Resi.com, so all you have to do is go and type in Amex Gold Resi, you could find that on the first 12 months of ownership, you're actually going to be getting 20% back on all restaurant purchases up to $250 in the first year only, which pretty much breaks down to only having to spend about $1,250 to get $250 back, and then you're capped. So even right there alone, if you just wanted this credit card for the first year only, it's pretty much paid for alone with just that extra bonus. You're also going to be getting other secondary perks that you get with higher tiered premium American Express cards, like for one, baggage insurance. If you book and pay in full with your Amex Gold Card for a flight, you'll be covered up to $1,250 for a carry-on and up to $500 for a checked bag. So if something happens to it, they lose it and whatnot, they'll give you that amount of money to reimburse you. You're also going to be getting complimentary trip delay reimbursement insurance. Just in the event that the trip is actually delayed and you're actually going to have to stay over a little bit longer, they're going to be giving you a complimentary $300 for toiletries, food, etc., etc. And then thirdly, you're going to be getting purchase protection on any item that you purchase in full with your Amex Gold Card. And this will give you about $50,000 per year in purchase protection, $10,000 per claim. So you can pretty much imagine that if you just bought a $3,000 laptop and for some reason it just got stolen, the Amex Gold Card can pretty much have you covered and reimburse you that full $3,000, which pretty much pays the annual fee itself for the next 10 years going forward, which is really, it's a no-brainer to actually use this credit card specifically for bigger purchases like that. So big tip there. And if you guys want your own personal American Express Gold Card, I'll leave my personal link down in the comments below, and if you use it, I'll love you forever. And you can see that I really put my money where my mouth is, because I'm in the process of canceling a ton of American Express cards, but the gold one stays. If you want to check out that video, I'll leave it at the card at the end of this video.